Am I live? I think I'm live. Hello and welcome back to the final K. We have got stage 2 of the Tirreno today, and then we've got the stage 3 of the Paranisa team time trial. I think it's starting. I think it started just now. Actually, let me double check that. I think it has started now, but we have got the Tirreno on at the moment. There's 35k to go. Where was it going? Ineos and Bahrain are at the front of the peloton doing quite a lot of the work. No, it doesn't start. Coverage doesn't start for another 10 minutes of that team time trial, but big day of racing. So it is. Just showing Roglic on the screen now. But yes, 206 kilometers to go. 206 kilometers of a race. Well. And look who it is. It is Hound. 206 kilometers. There's a 5.5 kilometer gravel sector on this race, which I'm buzzing for. The town it finishes in is San Gimignano, if that's pronounced right. I've actually been to this town, the random town. I did a tour of Tuscany years ago, so I've actually been here, and the walk up to the place was brutal. So I'm sure cycling up it is probably 10 times worse. But they actually showed the final. When do you think they? When I think they're going pretty quick now. It's 35k. They average in about 40, so I'd say I'll be over in another 40 minutes. I think. But they showed the final. The streets are narrow, up to the finish, and yeah, should be a good one. You want to see it live? Oh, right, okay, right. Get you now. Well, it should definitely finish within the next hour because it's 35k to go, and they're cycling pretty quick. And then when you get into the final 10 kilometer, I'd say it'll probably go by pretty quick as well. That is the stage on the screen as well. As you can see, they're sitting. I'll show you where they're sitting. Where's my wee red arrow? I don't even need to move it. They've just hit the top of that wee bit there, so that is where they're sat. And that's how long to go. Team time trial. Yeah, it is going to be tight. I'm waiting for the live coverage of it. It doesn't start for another 7 minutes, so it doesn't. But I think Picnic Post goes first. I think they start in about 2 minutes, but Visma are the first of the big teams to go. So they are. Let's see, yeah, so Picnic Post are first. Then there's Jayco, the first of the big teams is UAE. They start in about 17 minutes. Then Visma, they're 25 minutes away. I think the last third last is Ineos, so yeah. They've got a very strong time trial team for it. So they were just showing the front. All the teams are sort of getting into their formations now as they're getting ready for this gravel sector. Yeah, you are correct. Calderman as well, if you want to add him into it, and then obviously Vingegaard, but. Yeah, they are the main three that are good at the time trials. $33k to go. Ineos and Bahrain are still at the front. I think UAE are moving on to the right hand side with their riders. EF Education and Decathlon in the centre. Visma just tucked in the centre at the back-ish. Pull on the hill, and what stage are we talking about? I think you're talking about the team time trial, but yeah, see the punchy riders pull on the hill. Well, to be fair, the Visma ones that are really good at time trial, the hill probably means absolutely nothing to them. They'll probably just glide over it, to be honest. Picnic Post have just started there. That is them underway for the team time trial. Sorry, that I forgot to mention, that is the GC on the screen, if you didn't know what the GC looked like. Obviously, Filippo Ganna in first from yesterday, 22 seconds on Arnsman. The favourites for today's stage at the Tirreno are looking like this. Yet again, I just grabbed them off some random bookie site, but that is the odds that they've given. They've made Van der Poel the favourite, Isaac Del Toro second favourite, Wout van Aert, Paul Lapierre and Jan Christen wrap it up. I think Filippo Ganna and Jonathan Milan are in the same odds as Jan Christen, so I don't know where they got that from, like, but back in 15, yeah, no worries, you're all good. But I don't know where they got the odds for Jonathan Milan being 28-1, the same as Jan Christen. So we are coming up to the final 30k, actually, I think, as the commentary gets cut. 31k to go now, so they're not going as quick. I think from about 50k to 40k they did go fairly quick. The breakaway got caught, so he was in the breakaway. So the breakaway consisted of 4 riders, 2 Spanish and 2 Italian. There was Pablo Sevilla, there was Joan Bu, Manuel Tazzori and Alessandro Iacci. They were the 4 riders in the breakaway. They got caught, I think, about, let me see it say it. They got caught 10 minutes ago, so that's how they got caught 10 minutes ago by the peloton. So they did. But they're just going over these hills now, making sure everyone is in a good position. Ineos have been at the front the majority of the day, to be fair. I think Movistar were at the front pulling for a bit during the middle of the stage. They're just showing that the scenic Tuscan area. Random fact, actually, the town that it finishes in is famous for ice cream. Because I remember being there, and the lines for the ice cream shop, there was one famous ice cream shop in it, and the lines were like a mile long. So they were. But the hills, there was like a tour bus we did, and they parked the bus at the bottom of the hill, and everyone had to walk up to the top. I don't think they're going up that way, because that was like obviously for the car park. I think when they showed the finish, they were coming up the other side of it, which is just as steep, because I remember taking photos of like looking down and going, can you imagine walking up that? But yeah, it's very steep up to it. But then again, they're professional cyclists, so this is nothing to them. They're showing third in the GC, Max Walscheid, at the back of the peloton. He's just sitting at the back. The very, very last rider. Obviously, Filippo Ganna in the blue jersey, as he won yesterday. We've got Arnsman in the points jersey. And I think Magnus Sheffield is in the young classification, that jersey. Let me double check. There was one rider that didn't start today, unfortunately. That was Leonard van Etveld. He's pulled out of another race this year. It's not looking good for him. Yes, Magnus Sheffield. They said he crashed. Apparently he crashed in the Strada Bianchi before the gravel sector, before the Monte Santa Maria. He crashed in it. I never heard it in the coverage, like, so. But apparently he is still struggling from that crash. So yeah, Ineos in all 3 of the jerseys. The KOM jersey obviously not been given out yet, as there was no mountains in the team time trial and no KOM points, but it will be given out after this stage, which I think it is going to someone from that breakaway, but I think it's going to Pablo Diego Sevilla at Visit Polti. What way do they say that again? Team Polti Visit Malta. So that is the KOM jersey, the virtual KOM jersey. Never mind, I take that back. He's not going to be in it. Whoever wins the stage is going to be in it, because I forgot it's a Category 1 climb to the finish. So he's not going to win it. That's just virtual at the moment. We're into the final 30k now. So we are. Ineos still at the front. We're going pretty quick now. Is there 28k down a descent at the moment. Ghana sitting in fourth wheel, 3 Ineos riders in front of him. So he looks like he's going for this stage. He obviously came second last year after an impressive individual time trial, taking another 22 seconds last year out of second, and he ended up coming second overall last year, which is actually very good for Filippo Ganna. They have another climb to go. It's not categorized, but it is 2.1 kilometers long, has an average of 5.6%. It's called the Casol de Elsa. It is coming up in about 5k. So it should be coming up soon, as they are going fairly quick down this descent. Ineos pulling quite hard at the peloton, or at the front of the peloton. Visma riders coming up, and Decathlon still there as well. Haven't shown Van der Poel or Wout van Aert on the cameras yet, obviously at this bit, but you would expect them to move a bit closer as the time comes. Roglic was sitting a bit further back in the peloton as well. There's Van Aert now, I can see him, and I see Van der Poel as well, I think it was him. Yeah, I see him now. So they're sitting about middle of the peloton. Van Aert has just moved all the way up to the front of the peloton. So he's sitting at the front. Let's see, the team time trial is Picnic Post NL finished. No, Picnic Post are on the first climb. Jayco, and Jayco's already off, and I think that is Q36.5. They have just went off as well. I forgot to do this. I knew I forgot something. There's... No, wrong thing. Oh no, it's not. It's the right thing. But there is 25.8k to go. Sorry, I'm trying to get this photo sorted for the Paris-Nice stage. Right, that's that sorted. They're going up this wee uncategorized climb there. It's 2.1 kilometers long. So it is. Should have put a poll up actually. I always forget to do that. Start a poll. Who wins stage 3? And a poll. Del Toro. I will add Wout van Aert, and then the last option will be other, as always. So there is a poll in the chat there if you want to go and vote, up to yourselves, but it's who you think is going to win stage 3. So it is. Let's see if I can actually get the... I'm going to plug the other headphone in and try and get the Paris-Nice coverage up. So the Paris-Nice is up on the phone. And so there's... all tangled up. Apologies. Rama. Here we are. So I've got both coverages up in each ear, so this is going to be confusing to watch, and of course they're at an ad break, obviously. When aren't they at an ad break? but they're just showing a town here at the moment on the screen. They've went back to the peloton now. It was the past couple of minutes there they were showing a town. So there's Jack Haig from Ineos dropping out the back of the peloton, getting a water bottle, I think it was, or an energy gel as they hit the final 25k. Change that now. But everything seems to be sitting all good. Peloton are, you know, doing a decent pace. All the teams are at the front. A couple of riders getting out of the seat now at the front of the peloton, just getting over the top of this climb. But everyone seems to be sitting comfortable. No attacks. There's no one at the front. Breakaway was caught earlier, but I think it's just there's a descent now after this, but I think it is just waiting to this gravel sector. The gravel sector is 5.5 kilometers long. They mentioned that on the broadcast before it started. And then I think it ends with about 1.2k to go as they go into the town of San Gimignano through the small narrow streets up there. That will be good to see. You're back. I forgot to put him in the poll. Doesn't need a team. Reckon you're a big fan of Roglic, then? I hope. I think Van der Poel will be there for a bit, but I hope Wout van Aert's there. Jan Christen will probably be there as well. Is he actually your go? So he's your favourite rider then? Apart from Roman Gregoire, obviously, but fair enough. He's won this race 2 times before, so let's see if he can win it for a 3rd time. The ad break for the Pyrenees time trial here is nuts. It's still going on since I turned it on. But anyone else launched yet on the team time trial? Yeah, Groupama are off. So there's 4 teams out right now. UAE, I always struggle saying that. UAE, they start in 2 minutes, so they do. So we've got the time. We've got the both broadcasts up now. Groupama. Cameras on Groupama. Back to the... This is going to be so weird, just flicking between the two of them. But still the teams at the front. You've got Visma on the right. AF Education just to their left. Ineos are still on the left-hand side of the road. They're just showing San Gimignano into the distance there. It was actually a very nice city. Or town or whatever. Very nice town to be in. I think it's... What's the nickname? The town of like 100 towers or something like that, but there is a nickname for it, something to do with towers, but I can't remember the number or how many. Don't know about him in the mountains. Well, he would have been good to put in. I originally I think I took him out. I think I had him in my team and then I took him out. So I did, but yeah, he won the Tour of Oman, so. And he was away out the back in it on the GC. I know it was obviously not against this caliber of riders, but it was still impressive what he did. Picnic poster coming up to the time check on the team time trial. They'll be the first team to hit it. So I need to see what sort of time we are working with on that one. We're hitting the final 20k to go now for this stage 2 of the Tirreno. 20k. The commentator I just mentioned his name there, and I forgot. Betio from Astana. He did an interview before the coverage went live, and he was saying that he is he's looking at this stage, and it reminds him of a sort of a smaller Monte Santa Maria. So he has another one to look out for if he is obviously on form. Have I got a job? I do, yes. If you must know. I do. Yeah, I do. I'm just lucky that I don't work within the times of the stages, which is a big reason as to why I wanted to start this as well, because the times lined up, so I thought, why not? UAE have started now on the team time trial. Who's my goat? Good question. My goat is probably Mark Cavendish. I loved him as a kid growing up. My favourite sprinter. Him and Alberto Contador, they're my two. Both my favourites. Obviously, the goat of cycling itself is a different question, but they are my two goats, Mark Cavendish and Alberto Contador. Sagan as well. Sagan's a close third. Just watching him was brilliant. World Championships, the green jersey in the Tour de France. Just a different breed, to be honest. I know. I'm actually sick of watching them on the ads. Got the camera on Van der Poel, who is behind two teammates, sitting quite comfortable towards the front of the peloton. He's just to the left of Arnsman. Arnsman's to his right, and Ghana is just in front of Arnsman. Van Aert at the back of the Visma. Yeah, he's at the back of the Visma train on the right hand side of the road. I don't know if Magny or Milan could be there. Like I said, the favourites that I got, the favourites I've got on the screen, the website I got it off, they had Milan at 28-1 as well as Kristen, which sort of surprised me because I don't know how Milan or Magny are going to do on this hill. I think if there's an attack, I don't know if they'll be able to keep up with it. But they could prove me wrong, and obviously we'll not know until they hit it. But yeah. 17.5k to go. Still the same teams at the front. I think Uno X and NSN are in the middle now. They're two new teams that weren't there earlier. Yeah, it's the hill at the end. So it is. And there's quite a few hills on the in the gravel sector as well. I think there's one hill in it. It's about 1 kilometre long. What was the time check for a picnic post on that first? I passed it right, so Jayco are actually first in the team time trial with a time of 15:53, and Picnic Post are 28 seconds behind them. Yeah. Visma have 2 guys for it, and well, Jorgensen was pretty good in the Strada Bianchi as well, so he would be another favourite for this one. So we would. It's just interesting, just because the amount of good people racing this Tirreno. Like I said, AI went with Ben Healy, which did surprise me. So it did. 16k to go. What's the poll looking like? The poll is 1 vote for Van der Poel and 2 votes for other. I had him in my team as well, and I took him out. I think I had him and Jan Christen. No, it was him and that Pinarello guy. But before I had them 2, I had Lapierre in, but then I just didn't fancy him, so I took him out. But I think I've changed my team. I don't know what. I can't even remember who's in my team anymore. I can't remember who I put in for it. But they're just showing Del Toro here on screen with Jan Christen. I had Del Grosso as well, and I took him out. Actually, let me just double check. I can't remember who, because I did change mine, and I need to see who I put in. I think I put some young rider from Groupama in it. No, I do. I have Paul Lapierre in it. So I got. I think I got rid of. I've got rid of Abrahamson. Johannessen's in there for Uno X. Paul Lapierre and Roland from Groupama. They're the 3 ones that it did change. So it was. But I did have a bunch of riders that I was looking at and trying to see what would work. But I ended up just going with that. As the phone won't turn around. There we go. Into the final 15k now of stage 2 at the Tirreno. Nothing much has happened in this stage. It was a breakaway of 4. They were caught about 20 minutes ago, 25 minutes ago. But as of right now, there is not a lot happening. It is actually raining now, so the roads are wet. But Ineos have been at the front the majority of the day. Visma are at the front now, but the peloton is just spread across the front with all the different teams getting in position. But yeah, nothing. I've got the team time trial up as well. UAE are out now. They've been out for about 7 minutes. That means Visma are going out in a bit. Yeah, Visma start in 20 seconds. So that is the main favourite for this. I've actually got this is the favourite. Oh, you're kidding. Oh no, sorry, I'm in the wrong thing. That is the stage favourites for the Paris-Nice for the teams. Visma in first, Lidl-Trek, Ineos, Red Bull, and then UAE. Put Wellsford for top 7. Yeah, no, he's a good. He's obviously he's there for the start of the season, and then after the Tour Down Under, he sort of disappears. But new team, so hopefully a new rider. Yeah, that's why I took Del Grosso out, because Van der Poel's in. I just thought Del Grosso won't have the free rein. He'll be more protecting of Van der Poel. So the last 5 kilometers are shown on screen. Just before they hit the final 5k, there is a maximum of 14% on this gravel sector. So there is. That will be pretty interesting if it is for long. Visma have just let off there on the team time trial in the Paris-Nice. So they have. But I wonder if this weather's going to take into play here at this gravel sector. Yeah, Van der Poel's like he's like 50, 55, 60 million on it, so that's why I didn't pick him. No. Yeah, so the gravel sector starts off with a hill, so I think this. Yeah, I don't think if there's an attack at it, I don't see Milan being there, if I'm honest. But the last 5k, or the last 3 kilometers, sorry. What? It said last 5 kilometers and then showed the 14%. Now they're showing the last 3 kilometers and the 14% still there. So I don't know. But the gravel sector, the start of the gravel sector, there's a 14% maximum on a climb. I don't know what the average is on it, but right. I think there will be a split on the gravel sector. I think positioning going into it is going to be quite key. I think that's why a lot of the riders are trying to get to the front, and Ineos have been at the front for the majority. They're obviously trying to keep. Ineos are only down to one rider. After whatever rider that is in front, they're down to Ghana and Arnsman. Obviously the leader and the second in the GC. So let me look out for... I can see the Red Bull helmets, but I don't think... They're not behind Ineos, I know that. That's Del Toro's behind Arnsman, so he is. But the Red Bull riders are about 30 riders, between 20-30 riders back. Coming into the final 10k, 11k to go. 4 kilometers until the gravel sector, and then it should all start to kick off. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Visma, the peloton is going fairly quick now, so they are, as they seem to be looking to get into position. Oh, crash! Oh, he went off the side of the road and did some sort of flip off the side of the road. I don't think the commentator said a Stana rider. I don't think it was. I think it was someone from that Bardiani CSF that went flying. Just as well he landed on grass, like. Yeah, no, it's not Roglic. That's good. Ghana moves to the front now with Arnsman on his wheel. They've got 3 kilometers to go. 10k. They hit the 10k banner now. Yeah, it is Bardiani CSF rider. Marcel Lucy from Bardiani CSF. He was the only one that crashed, the only one that went down. They're going to show a bird's eye view of it, I think. But I think he just gets caught at the side of the road and his wheel just goes off. Yeah. The only thing that I can say about that is just as well it was on a bit of grass and not something else. He sat down, head in the hands, but doesn't look like it is too good, to be honest. 9.3k to go now. 2.3 until the gravel sector. Bahrain have just went off on the team time trial, so they have. Let me see what the points are looking at. Ghana's still at the front, so obviously Ineos are going for the Arnsman GC. Seeing Ghana is doing all this work. The team time trials is looking like Jayco, they are leading it. Well, Jayco are leading at the time check. Groupama 2 seconds behind, Q36 20 seconds, and Picnic Post 28 seconds. Picnic Post have finished there, so they have already finished, but Jayco are just about to finish. But that was the time check. Ghana has now got a gap on Arnsman out the front on his own with the peloton as Arnsman pulls it back, but 1.7 until this gravel sector. Bettiol said that on the interview before, he said that positioning for the start of it you don't need to be at the front. He said there's not going to be a sprint for the front of it, as positioning for the front of it isn't as key as Monte Santa Maria. But the way the peloton's moving here, Alpecin are now on the far left, Lotto are coming up on the right. It looks like they are going for position on this one. Van der Poel is on second wheel. Well, he's not second wheel, but he's on the wheel of an Alpecin rider. He's sitting about 4th or 5th wheel from the front. Ghana still out the front with Arnsman on his wheel. I think Arnsman's going for it. I think he's going to launch at the foot of this gravel climb, so he is. Ghana's looking for Arnsman, he can't find him. As Arnsman moves back into the peloton, oh dear, is Ineos' plan not working? Here comes Red Bull up the right-hand side with 3 riders as Roglic on second wheel. Del Toro on the back of the 3-man Roglic train. 0.5 until the gravel sector. So it is. Yeah, Roglic did look pretty good coming up there. Uno X moved to the front. I see 2 Visma riders there as well. Ghana's still there, but Arnsman doesn't seem to be on his wheel. He's lost Arnsman. Ooh. There's quite a lot of people going off the side of the road, or trying not to go off the side of the road as they come into the final corner before this gravel sector. Van Aert's right in the middle of the peloton. He is not in a good position as Van der Poel moves to the front and looks like he is attacking straight off the bat. Who is that? Julian Alaphilippe attacks off the front. Van der Poel on his wheel. Roglic, or is that Pellizzari? I think that's Pellizzari from Red Bull. But Van der Poel, Julian Alaphilippe, Pellizzari attacking out the front. Someone from Quickstep. 154. But Alaphilippe right at the front. Who's that from Quickstep? Rex from Quickstep. He is there with Van der Poel and Julian Alaphilippe. I see Del Toro. Del Toro is trying to get onto the wheel of those riders. Jorgensen's there as well. They're sitting about 9% on the road. 6.5k to go. As that is Pellizzari moving to the front of this peloton now as it stretches, way out the back. They're all sort of single file here. But Pellizzari moves to the front. Alaphilippe looks to be done with his attack. I see Roglic sitting about 6th or 7th wheel. Van Aert is nowhere, unfortunately. It seems to be Jorgensen for Visma. But it's Pellizzari at the front as Van Aert moves up on his inside to go first in this group. Jorgensen sat in 2nd wheel. Del Toro in 3rd. Pellizzari now moves into 3rd or 4th. Roglic sitting in 5th as a gap is starting to form between Pellizzari and Roglic. But Van der Poel looks to be going for this win. Yep, there's a gap from Roglic to Pellizzari, and Pellizzari is starting to lose the wheel of Del Toro, so it looks like we're going to have a 3. If Pellizzari can't get onto the back of this, it's going to be a 3 of Van der Poel, Jorgensen and Del Toro. Oh, it is heating up now. 8% they're sitting at. Van der Poel at the front, powering it straight to the top. He is man on a mission here. Jorgensen sat on his wheel. Del Toro in 3rd. Oh, Jorgensen crashed. Del Toro held up. Oh, no. Jorgensen slips on the gravel, crashes. Van der Poel goes off on his own. 12% gradient now as Van der Poel is... I think Del Toro got caught up in the crash. He didn't go down. He tried to move out of the way, but had to unclip his pedal. But he is now gapping Del Toro. Pellizzari sat in 3rd. How did he go down? Front wheel goes, then the back wheel goes. Del Toro has to hit the brakes, but Van der Poel is not letting up now. 11% they're sat at. Del Toro is trying to get back. I know, very unlucky for Jorgensen. So they're on a sort of a flat bit now. I'll say flat 7%, well now 4%, but there is a decent gap from Van der Poel to Del Toro. I hope Del Toro doesn't catch him here. But the GC is definitely changing today. Pellizzari trying to catch Del Toro. There's a decent distance between them. Say a couple seconds in it. But they're on a flat section now. 5.5k to go. I may change this. Looks like Del Toro is getting back to his wheel. Pellizzari is trying to get on the wheel of Del Toro still. But Van der Poel needs to have another attack on him here. 5.3. Pellizzari's going to catch Del Toro as well. Come on, Van der Poel, get this. I think the gap is increasing. I don't know. I can't tell. Because they're going up and down, and then when they get to the flat, it looks as if it's closing. 5.1 kilometers to go. Who's that in 4th? Is that Arnsman? No. There's someone in 4th wheel. Looks like it's in a jersey. 5 kilometer banner just passed by Van der Poel. Pellizzari has caught the wheel of Del Toro. Still a gap though. Still a gap from Van der Poel to Del Toro. It says 2 seconds on PCS. Don't know if that's accurate or not, but this seems to be the final here. No one else in the distance of Pellizzari from behind. But they're in sort of a flattish bit. They're going up and down and on a wee descent here now. Yeah, Roglic is nowhere there. They've got the camera on the back. Just hit the 5 kilometer sign is Ghana. On his wheel is Roglic. Then there is someone from Movistar, Tudor and Quickstep. But Filippo Ganna seems to still be pushing hard on this as they finish the gravel sector back on the paved road. 4.3k to go. Are they going to go back on gravel? Yeah, so they're back onto the gravel now. There was just a wee smooth bit in between. Del Toro is now on the wheel of Van der Poel. Oh no, he's going to get him, isn't he? He's going to get him on this attack. Or this final climb. I've still got this team time trial on here. Fuck that. Van der Poel says, we flick of the elbow, go in front. They're working together, which is good to see. Van der Poel sat in second wheel now behind Del Toro, who moves to the front. Pellizzari still sat in third. And Van der Poel unclips from the pedal as he... Oh no! Van der Poel slips, foot comes out of the pedal around the corner. Now there's a gap from him to Del Toro. It looks like Del Toro's won it. Oh, you're kidding. Come on, get on the back. I think the energy he uses to get back on the wheel of Del Toro here. Del Toro just... What happens? He comes around the corner. Del Toro slips first, able to hold and stay up. Then Van der Poel slips, foot unclips, can't get it back in, slips again, all over the road. Oh, you're joking. Pellizzari, no issues around that corner, but he's still on the wheel of Van der Poel. Did he make it back? Yes, Van der Poel is back on the wheel of Del Toro. Del Toro out of the saddle. Van der Poel out of the saddle, still on the wheel, waiting for someone to attack, but they are still on the gravel. Arnsman crashed. Oh, you're... Arnsman's down. I keep jumping off my seat here. Arnsman has crashed. As the rest of the riders try not to hit him coming around the corner. There's another crash up the front. Who is that? There's crashes happening everywhere here. The gravel's obviously really slippy. Seeing Arnsman lying flat on his back. Same corner that Van der Poel and Del Toro slipped on. They hit the 3 kilometer banner here. Still the same 3. They're all together now. The gap to Ghana is 56 seconds. Here, fair play to Pellizzari here. I did not expect him to be here. 2.8k to go. But the front group is Del Toro, Van der Poel and Pellizzari. As they're still on the gravel sector. It's obviously raining. The gap to Arnsman now is 2 minutes and 8 seconds. '70th on... Oh, I forgot he rode the Strat. So he came around 70th. And he sat in third here. Obviously, not as many gravel sectors, but... He sat on the wheel of Van der Poel and Del Toro in a gravel sector. I wonder who's going to... Because the roads are pretty narrow into San Gimignano. So I wonder what is going to happen with attacks here. There's Wout van Aert at the front of the group. They've got a camera on. It is the chasing group. So this is the chasing group, group number 2. Wout van Aert is at the front of it. What group's this now? There's that many groups over the road, but Wout van Aert is pacing at the front for the chasing group, apparently. It says it's 24 seconds down. I think he was just in a bad position at the start of it. I think if he was in a better position, he could have potentially been with these 3, but 1.9k to go. I think in about 500-600 meters the gravel sector ends. So it does. I think 1.2 kilometers is where the next climb starts. Yep, that's him off the gravel, back on the paved road. 1.6k to go. Pellizzari still at the back of this group, hasn't made a move, hasn't done anything, so I'm wondering if he has enough energy in this tank to attack. Del Toro's still at the front. He's been at the front since they caught Van der Poel, and Van der Poel flicked the elbow for him to move to the front. Van der Poel obviously in second. He slipped though, created a wee gap, but he has clawed back to Del Toro to make it a group of 3. So I wonder who's got the most energy here to win this. Coming into the final kilometre there is the banner. I'll change that along the bottom. So they're under the banner. This is them into the final kilometre of stage 2 at the Tirreno Adriatico. And has been a very good one. But this is them starting to climb now. One who's going to be first to attack. Van der Poel gets out of the saddle. Still no movement from Del Toro. Pellizzari seems comfortable sat in third. "14 seconds now on the Wout van Aert group. 24 seconds on the Ghana group. Everyone out of the saddle now in this front group. Round to the bend, round to the left. 0.6. There, I'm waiting. There's an attack now. Van der Poel moves off the front of that chasing group. He's away out the back as Barry and Uno-X, NSN, EF Education are all attacking out of this chasing group. Del Toro around the corner to the right. Looks over his shoulder to see where Van der Poel is. They've got a bend round to the left here, and then I think they're still not onto the narrow roads yet. Did they even go onto it? They showed on the TV that the narrow roads with all the barriers up, so. But it looks like we're getting a group, or a sprint between these 3 riders as they enter the town of San Gimignano as a 3. Onto the more narrow roads now. Pellizzari launches on the left-hand side. Van der Poel in the middle launches to try and catch him. But Pellizzari looks like he's going to get it. Van der Poel he can't get under the back wheel of Pellizzari. 150 metres to go as Pellizzari is at the front with a couple of bike links. Del Toro in third launches from the back. Van der Poel comes up the right hand side of Pellizzari under the bridge, but Van der Poel moves to the front. Pellizzari second. Del Toro on the left hand side. Oh Jesus! Van der Poel gets it. Del Toro second. Pellizzari third. What a finish! What a finish! Pellizzari gap Van der Poel attacks, gets back on, comes up the right hand side of him, then Del Toro looks out of it. He attacks, comes up the left hand side of him, and all 3 finish on the line together. Uno-X taking 4th there. I hope that's Johannesson. What a finish. Yeah, no, crazy stage. What a finish. I think they're just waiting on Ghana to come around the corner to see if he is still in the jersey or not. There was a 36-second gap from him to Del Toro. So here comes Ghana around the corner. 56, 57. I think he's going to be just over a minute down. Del Toro, I think he got 6 bonus seconds as well. So I think Del Toro moves into the blue leaders jersey. But what a finish. What a finish. And now we're moving on to the Paris stage. I need to see the timings for this. So the Finnish Visma Lease bike are first in the time check. They're currently going up the final hill at the moment. But UAE are leading at the finish line with 3 seconds on Groupama. What a finish. Pellizzari launched too soon, but he gapped and it looked like he was getting it. I know Jorgensen would have been, if he didn't slip, Jorgensen still would have been there. Unfortunately. I need to change all this now to the Paris-Nice colours. No, that's not right. So there's that. Need to change the colours here along the bottom as well. If you are just joining, Van der Poel, Pellizzari and Del Toro, sprint. They both finish on, all three finish on the line together. Van der Poel takes it. Del Toro comes second, and Pellizzari gets third. Pellizzari was first to launch, and it looked like he was going to win it, but Van der Poel got back, came around the corner, or came up the right hand side of him. Del Toro then launches from the back, comes up the left hand side, and Pellizzari gets beat by both, unfortunately for him. But just what a finish! What a finish! They changed something there. No, I didn't. So there's that. I need to change the bottom here. Still says preview. Change it to that, and then change the bottom to that. Let me see the poll. Actually, did anyone... I'm still waiting on the... I'll see if the preliminary results are through. Yeah, so they've got the top 10. So the top 10 was Van der Poel first, Del Toro second, Pellizzari third. Johannesson got fourth. Andrea Vendram from Jayco got fifth. Pinarello, are you kidding? Pinarello from NSN got sixth. Giulio Ciccone got seventh. Andreas Kron in eighth. Champousson from Astana in 9th, and Paul Lapira in 10th for Decathlon. Can't believe I took Pinarello out as well. Who did I take him out for? I can't even... My head's all over the place. There's that much happening. But what a finish. What a finish. Let me... Get rid of that, put that on. So that is the team time trial now, as we're sort of moving into it, but they've got the top 10 out. We'll obviously wait for, see if anyone else gets announced. They're on an ad break at the team time trial, but yeah. So way to... Yeah, there is. I'm going to change the title to put Pyrenees Team Time Trial first, and then so they have finished up with the broadcast of Tirreno. They're moving on to the team time trial, which I'm going to do now as well. Total Energy is just crossing the line there. Is that 59 seconds down? Am I reading that right? Is that correct, is it? So Visma are coming up to the finish here now. This is where the main favourite, this is where it should, hopefully they should be in first. They were first at the time check. Lotto Wintermarché just launched off there. Still got it on my... I can get rid of that. Get rid of that. I will end this. 13 votes. 54% went with Wout van Aert. 8% Van der Poel. 8% Del Toro. And 31% other. Well, it looks like 8% of the people were right. I will end that poll and I will put up another one. Start another poll. Yes. Who wins team time trial? As Visma Leasebike are coming to the end here. How many riders do they still have? I think they've 4 riders left. So they do. Team time trial. UAE are leading it. Visma are just under the final kilometre. So UAE have a time of 27:17. Visma just went under the banner there at about 26. So it looks like they should be moving in the first, if they can do the final kilometre in a minute. Second under UAE is Groupama. They are 3 seconds down. Jayco is 19 seconds down in third. Q36, 34. Total Energies 59 and Picnic Post 101. But here comes Visma up to the final. As the time's ticking down, they're still in green, minus 45 seconds. 3 riders remain. But they obviously have went very, very time trial orientated, as there's 3 riders like sprinting for the finish here for Visma. 30 seconds. It looks like they're moving in the first. But by how many seconds? 25, 24, 3, 22 seconds. So they have moved. They're in the first now by 21 seconds. That was a very, very good time trial from Visma, even though I only cut the last kilometre of it. But there's Lidl. I'll put Ineos, and then obviously I can't put UAE because they've just been beaten, but I need to think of another team. Red Bull. Red Bull went. No, I'll add Red Bull. Or no, I'll just put other. No, they've changed it's not 4 riders. They've changed the rules for. I seen something. I know the team time trial rules for the Tour de France this year in Barcelona is like they're taking the individual times off the riders or something for the GC, which makes like what? I was reading it and I couldn't understand what they meant. So everyone, the whole team launches, and each rider is their times taken individually for the GC. What sort of? I think that's what I was reading. I think that was. I don't know if. I don't know if I'm just dyslexic or something, but I think that's what it meant. I don't know if it's the rules for this, but I know the new time trial rule is for the team time trial is only 1 rider has to cross the line, and that's the time taken for the team. Right, so Alpecin just kicked off there. Who's coming up next? Bahrain. So the teams out on the road at the moment are Bahrain, Movistar, Quickstep, Cofidis, Decathlon, Lotto Intermarché, and Alpecin. Decathlon could be another possible favourite for it. What's going on? Was Roglic in the top 20? Let me actually check if they've got the full view results. Here. I can see him. Where do you think he finished? I'll let you. I'll give you one guess. Where do you think he finished? Unless you already know, but I've got him right in front of me for where he finished. 16. He got 11th. He was one off the top 10. Paul Lapera just beat him at so he gets 11th. Ben Healy's 12th. Javier Romo is 13th. Carapaz 15th. Jorgensen got 16th. Tiberi 18th. So that whole group from Pinarello at NSN in 6th position all the way down to 22nd, they are all finishing on the same time. The riders in that include Magnus Sheffield, Tiberi, Jorgensen, Carapaz, Buitrago, Romo, Healy, Roglic, Lapira, Ciccone. So yeah, Tiberi, I think they finished 17 seconds down on the rest. So here, that's actually, it was a lot better than I expected for Roglic, because I thought with his position then he was dropping, and then I just couldn't see him. I don't know if Pellizzari will take over leadership. I think you will. I think he may do. Well, here, look, what is it? Stage 5. I guess we'll not really know until stage 5 what's happening. Stage 5 and stage 6 are the ones that are looking pretty good. But I think you'll not know on 12th on TT. I wonder if they've got the GC actually up. But stage 5 and stage 6 are the ones with, well, stage 5 doesn't have an uphill finish. It's got a climb, and then there's like a kilometre descent to the finish. Right, GC. Del Toro's in first. Pellizzari is in second on GC, 3 seconds down. Roglic is in 5th, 18 seconds down. Yeah, I think Pellizzari, a scratch at, I think Pellizzari is going to move into the leadership. Just until they see what happens, obviously, in stage 5. Barry and Victorious now coming to the line of this team time trial, 30 seconds plus. They're not quite there yet. The time's still ticking up. Possibly 40 to 50 seconds here. They're into the 40 seconds now. Is that Lenny? You'd hope that's 48 seconds down on Visma for Barry and Victorious. They move into 5th. Why can't I see? Was I meant to save something? I can't see. Yeah, no, it'd be good to see him attacking. So it would. He still possibly can attack. If he's not, well, unless he still has to protect Pellizzari, but it'd be good to see him go on one of the stages just to see what his legs are like. I'm moving. I keep moving about. Uno X about to start here. I can't see how many people are watching or the chat rate. I don't know why. It has all disappeared. I'm trying to think if I had to save something on. I don't even know if the. Fuck it anyway. I don't know how many people are in here, like, but it won't tell me. But anyway, cameras on Decathlon. They've still got all their riders. Where are they sitting in the team time trial? They're just coming up on the time check. Movistar are just about to finish. Quickstep are at the top of the hill. Cofidis are just coming to the final climb. So there is who's the next big team out? Who is the next big team? Red Bull. Lidl launches in 5 minutes. So they do. When do Ineos launch? 17 minutes. So it should be over in the next. What is the? Should be over in the next. Well, the first should be announced within the next hour, I think. Because Ineos have 17 minutes to go and it takes them about 26 minutes to get round. Lidl launch in 5 minutes. Tudor up next in a minute. And then it's Lidl, Red Bull, Astana, Ineos, NSN and EF Education to wrap it up. Movistar have just finished. Where they finish? They finished in 3rd. Ooh, they didn't show that. They finished in 3rd, 4 seconds down on Visma Leasebig. 1 second behind UAE. So that was a very good time trial for Movistar. Who does Lidl have? They've actually got quite a few. They're showing Movistar now, so I'm obviously behind on my right. Lidl. Who do Lidl have? They've obviously Juan Ayuso. They've got, I think, Leonard Kamna's pretty good at time trial. They've got Soren Kragh Andersen, who is good at time trialing. They've got that Swedish, but well, they've got Vasek obviously, and then they've got Jakob Soderqvist. He's pretty good. He's 22, so he's very young, but he is set to be a time trialer for the future. And then they've also got Tom Scoins and Julian Bernard to wrap the team up. So they've got some pretty decent time trialers in there. Pretty strong team. With the likes of Kragh Andersen, Vasek, Soderqvist and Juan Ayuso. So it is a pretty strong team. Ineos, obviously, stacked team. Tarling, Vakwilin, Watson, Kwiatkowski, Carlos. Ooh! Decathlon hit the intermediate time check 7 seconds quicker than Visma, and they've still got 7. Decathlon still have their full team and have just beaten Visma's intermediate time check by 7 seconds. Oh dear. Tudor have just launched there. I think Decathlon here are going to be on a podium. Yes, you're right. My bad. I was reading the intermediate time check. So Movistar are in second, 12 seconds. My bad. I was reading the intermediate time check. So the actual finish line is Visma in first, Movistar in second by 12 seconds, and UAE in third by 21 seconds. So that's even better. Movistar in second. Who's the next to finish here? Got Quick Step there coming down the descent. I wouldn't even know if you call it a descent, but they're coming down it towards the flat bit to the finish. Cofidis are just at the top. Decathlon are about to hit it. Then Lotto Intermarché, the next team to hit the intermediate time check. Then there's Alpecin, Uno X, and Tudor. Cameras on Decathlon as one rider drops off. They're down to 6 riders now for Decathlon. Cess Ball's the first one to drop off. Obviously, he crashed yesterday, but he put in a good shift there today. But here, this Decathlon one is looking pretty. Do they lead? Yeah. 6:59 for specific. It's not quite 7 seconds. 0.05 milliseconds off. There's another rider for Decathlon dropping off. Who is that? Sander De Pestel. So they're down to 5. Quick Step are coming up on the finish now. They could have overspent, but they've still got 5 riders here. Stefan Bissiger, obviously still one of them. Is that another rider dropping off, or is he going to cling onto the back yet? He sticks onto the back. So Stefan Bissiger at the back there. Prodholm in front of him. Who else have they still got? They've still got Dan Hula, brilliant time trailer. 104 and 107. Oscar Chamberlain and Callum Scottson. I think Oscar Chamberlain is done. So they're down to 4 riders now. So they're the full team at the intermediate time check, and I'd say about, would you say about 3 or 4 kilometer later, they lose 3 riders. Maybe they have overspent. Maybe you are right. How is the poll looking? So 50% are saying Visma, 25% say Lidl, and 25% say other. So did I. 56% I say Lisma. I think we got Visma. Lotto Intermarché are coming up on the intermediate time check. Visma are just why am I obsessed? Lidl are just about to start. They're starting in a couple seconds here. Juan Ayuso, Bernard, Kamna, Kra Anderson, Scoins, Soderqvist, and Vasek is the lineup for Lidl. Very good time trailers in there. Will they be able to beat Visma? Still haven't launched yet. They're just showing them sit, and they've launched now. So we've got the, what is that? The Czech Republic national champion, the Swedish national champion, and is there another one at the back? No, I think. So we have 2 national time trial champions of their respected countries. No, they have another one as well, Scoins. So they have 3. Soudal Quick Step are crossing the line. They're about going to hit over 40 seconds here. So what is it going to finish at? 47 seconds down on Visma. So they move into 6th position. So they do. Decathlon are down to 3 riders. He was that moved off. Callum Scottson, I think, 107. Yep, so they've got 3. Dan Hula, Nicholas Broadham and Stefan Bissiger are the 3 that remain for Decathlon. I think they're going down. Are they going down the hill, or they haven't even hit the top? Yeah, they've passed the peak of this hill. As you, but yeah, Cofidis are next to finish. Where did Lotto Intermarché finish on that intermediate check, or the time check? Oh dear. Second last 40, or sorry, not, is it? Yeah, it is second last, 48 seconds down. I forgot, I can't remember if I said, but Leonard Van Etveld didn't start on the Pyrenees. He pulled out. No, not the Pyrenees, the Tirreno, sorry. See these two on at the same time, it's confusing me. He didn't start in the Tirreno, so apparently he crashed at the Strade Bianche. I didn't hear anything about it, but they said apparently he crashed on the gravel sector before the Monte Santa Maria, as Nicholas Broadham drops from the Decathlon team. Oh dear. A knee injury. There you go. He did well. He pulled out of the Santos Tour Down Under. Did well in the UAE Tour, and then he sort of he's pulled out of everything since. Decathlon are down to 1 rider. Dan Hula. Oh dear. It went from great to awful in the space of 5 kilometers. So it is Dan Hula, the last one. Breakaway man yesterday. He's the last one to take it home for Decathlon, and there's still a couple of kilometers to go here. They didn't cook, they are cooked. Lidl-Trek here on the screen. They're not even 5k into it. Oh look. Welcome back. Oh, they are cooked. Yeah, they are cooked. Cofidis are coming up now, 20 seconds down. 25 seconds. 26 seconds. We've got the Bronx back in the house. How are you? You all good? Yes. But yeah, Decathlon, Lidl-Trek on screen. They're not on 5k into it. Matthew Van der Poel won the stage in the race for the King Neptune's Trident. He did indeed. It was a very, very good race. Very good final 5-10 kilometers. Him, Del Toro, and Pellizzari straight to the finish line. It was very, very good. Red Bull have just launched off here. Let's hope they can keep their whole team as well as Lidl, because Decathlon have capitulated here. And they go to an ad break. Oh, not an ad break. Here, they put in a Massa time trial, and I thought Decathlon were going to get it, as they passed the time check with all 7 of their riders, and they were 7 seconds ahead of Visma. And then the 5 kilometers after that, they dropped off one by one, and they're down to 1 rider. So I think Decathlon aren't in the race. Movistar second, 12 seconds down. I think it's either going to be Lidl, Ineos, or Red Bull are the only other teams that are going to have a chance at overthrowing Visma here at the front. But I don't see it. I think Visma are going to hold on to this one. So they are. If you want to know the whole standings as it is right now, Visma are in first, Movistar second, 12 seconds down. UAE are third, 21 seconds. Groupama fourth, 25. Cofidis 26. J. Coalula 41 seconds down. Sudal Quickstep 47. Bahrain 48. Q36 55. And Total Energies, sorry, there's another one. Total Energies 121. And Picnic Post, the first team of the day, 1 minute and 23 seconds down. Next team to start is Astana. They start in 1 minute and 20. Then Ineos are after them, NSN and EF Education. So 4 teams left to go. I think the only other team that can contend for a victory are Ineos. So NSN and EF Education, thanks for coming. But seems to be Ineos are the only other one left not to start. The teams out on the road, I'll go in order from closest to the finish line, are Lotto Intermarché, Alpecin, Uno X, Tudor, then Lidl-Trek and Red Bull. What did Alpecin get on the time check now? Oh dear. Second last. And I thought Lotto Intermarché were second last, but now Alpecin are 51 seconds down on the time check. So they were. Decathlon finished and I wasn't even. Holy shit. Hold up. What? Visma aren't leading it. Decathlon are? Oh, what the fuck? What happened? I'm on an ad break, so I don't even know what's going on. Apparently, according to the finish, Decathlon are in first, 4 seconds down on Visma. So they did it. What? That's a shock. Obviously, they're on an ad break, so I haven't seen. But fuck, fair play to Decathlon for that. That wasn't. I thought after they lost all their riders, that was it. But MVP Dan Hula, bringing it home. So it's up to Lidl and Red Bull or Ineos to dethrone Decathlon here. Fuck, Decathlon are on a roll just this whole season. No, the new rule is they take the time off the first rider, which I think is awful. I think it should be, 4 or 3 or 4 like they used to. But the new rule is, and it has been in for a few years, I think, is they take the time of the first rider to cross the line. I can't believe that. Yeah, Visma crossed the line with 3 riders, and the 4th one, I'd say, a couple seconds behind. But Decathlon spent all their riders with 1 to go with about 3 or 4k, and they won it. I'm actually shocked. I can't believe that. And it was Dan Hula as well. Breakaway yesterday. And he Mr. Clutch today. They're just showing the replay here now. So they are. What a ride from Dan Hula. They were just showing the replay of it there. They've got the camera fixated on Lidl-Trek, who I've got as German on mine. I thought they were German. It says on PCS they're German, but the TV has just said that they're American. Yep, Decathlon are under the hot seat. With a clutch performance from Dan Hula, Visma have moved into second, 4 seconds down. So that's my prediction out the window. Where are Lotto Intermarché are just about to finish. Alpecin have just hit over the top of that wee hill. Uno X are at the bottom of it. Tudor are coming up on the intermediate time check. And then Lidl-Trek are behind them. Red Bull are on the first hill. And then Astana So Ineos are launching in 30 seconds. So Ineos will be on the field soon. I can't believe they... Dan Hula. Was he a Trek? Good question. Yeah, he was. He was at Lidl-Trek last year and Decathlon bought him. So, goodbye there. Very goodbye. Yeah, they've 3 national champions. Latvia, is it? But they've got Sweden, Czech Republic, and I actually want to check if I'm right with Latvia because I don't think I am. So the Ineos team: Onley, Godon, Kwiatkowski, Rodriguez, Tarling, Watson, and there was another one which I missed. Yeah, they didn't really bring anyone in, and then they lost Simon Yates, which was a big kick to their season. So it was. But they haven't really... They brought in... Who did they bring in? They brought in some... Actually, they brought in Bruno Amarilla from Decathlon, who was in their race today. So Decathlon and Visma must have did a swap for Dan Hula and Bruno Amarilla. Lotto Intermarché just crossed the line there, 1 minute and 18 down. What was I going to look at? Oh, I was going to look at the nation of Tom Schoins. Yeah, it is Latvia. It is Latvia. Ineos 1 minute into their team time trial. Alpecin are next to finish. Lidl-Trek are coming up to this intermediate check. I want to change the name of stream. Nah, I can't be bothered doing that. They're just interviewing Dan Hula there. The MVP for today, apparently, and party yesterday. Lidl-Trek are coming close to the intermediate time check. They are currently 1 minute and 14 down on Decathlon. They're not quite there yet. I'd say there's another couple kilometre, but they are within. They are beating them as it goes now. Still got their whole team. So Lidl-Trek, they've still got their whole team going into this final bit. It is looking pretty good for Lidl. How's the poll doing? How is the poll doing? 17 votes, 65% say Visma. That's not happening anymore. I said Visma as well, but it ain't happening. 24% say Lidl. 12% say other. No one has said Ineos. But obviously the GC is going to change after today. That is the GC as of right now. Luke Lamperti in first, Barrett second, Lawrence Pithy third, Stuyven fourth, and Allure in fifth. But that is obviously going to change quite drastically today if Decathlon can obviously win this. I don't know if they're doing this individual time for this one. I read somewhere that they're doing it for the Tour de France, but I don't know if they're doing it for this one. Lidl-Trek are coming up to this time check. 15 seconds down. I think they just lost their first rider, so they're down to 6. No, he's making it back onto the Vasek. I'm sorry, but he wasn't even off the back or anything. Can Jonas win this race? I didn't predict them to win it, but he obviously can win it. It's Jonas Vingegaard, 2-time Tour de France champion, but if he was on form and he felt good, he could win it probably with his eyes closed, to be honest. I think Wana Yusu's going to win it, personally, because it is his first race. He was ill. He had that wee crash, but I do think, obviously, he can win it, but I personally think Wana Yusu's going to get it. What did Lidl-Trek come over that line? Lidl-Trek beat Decathlon by 1 second on the intermediate time check. So it's getting quite tight here. NSN have just launched there. They've got Ryan Mullen, don't they? Every time I click on the team, it brings me their whole roster. Yeah, Ryan Mullen. The Irishman. Premier Tech are crossing the line with 3 riders, 1 minute and 19 seconds down. That's what I was going to check. That is what I was going to check. Who is... Decathlon. Tom Scroons is off the back, so Lidl-Trek are down to 6 riders now. You don't see Jonas winning the Tour de France. Here, well, I mean, if Pogačar, if he's on form, I don't think anyone is going to come close to beating him. And I agree with Pogačar. Your comment about Pogačar. I chose Jonas for GC on my Fanta cycling because I just thought in case he decides to, but I think he's gonna win it. But yes, what was I gonna do? Pogačar, his contract ends in 2030, and I think you're right. I think after that contract, we could potentially see him retire. When does Vingegaard's contract end though? 2028. Ooh. So you don't see Wana Yusu, you don't see Vingegaard, you see him retiring after 2028. How old will he be? Be coming after, he'll be 30, 33, 32. Am I doing this right? He'll be 32, I think. I don't know. I think I could see him stand. I genuinely think Vingegaard goes to Uno X. If I'm honest, I think towards the end he'll go to Uno X. I think they will offer him a decent wee contract for the Uno X team. As for Pogačar, though, I think you are right. I think, how old will he be in 2030? He'll be coming 31. I know he's younger, obviously, but he's been winning since he was really, really young. So yeah, I could potentially see him retiring after 2030. Paul Sexas second for the Tour. I don't think he's going to ride the Tour. I don't think they're going to let him. I hope they don't send him to the Tour because it'll just put unnecessary pressure on him. Because he's had a great start to the season. Jonas, he don't race enough. Not even the Worlds. Yeah, I suppose. But I do. He could sign for Uno X and ride local races. There's rumours he's going to. I hope the rumours are false. You don't send him to the Giro because he's had a good start to the season and he's riding all the other classics, but I think the Vuelta would be good for him. Really high mountains, first Grand Tour, and at the moment he's a big name. And finish off the season with a bang at the Vuelta. I just hope they don't send him to the Tour because if he doesn't perform well, then the amount of French pressure that will be on him will be quite a lot. I'm just seeing there 2 hours ago on PCS, Miles Pedersen drops Milan San Remo. Well, you just knew that was going to happen, didn't you? So that's the first race Pedersen is dropping from his program. He's obviously got the E3, Flanders, Vlaanderen, Ronde of Vlaanderen, Paris-Roubaix, the Dauphiné and the Tour. I wonder which one drops next. When will Pogacar ride in the Vuelta? Sure, there was talks of him potentially riding it this year, but I think make the decision obviously after the Tour and how he's feeling after that. But I think he will ride it at some point. He could ride it in his last year, but I think it all depends. I think it all depends if he rides it, depending on how he feels after the Tour. Because he could ride the Tour, and after it he could feel awful, or he could crash on the Tour. So there's no point in announcing it now. But if you win the Tour, you're feeling good after it. He might do so. Roglic, that's his only Grand Tour this year. So it is. Right, we're back from this ad break. So Tudor are just about to finish. He was the other one that was in Lidl-Trek. Another rider drops out the back. How many do they have left? Ooh, they're down to 5 riders now. And they are over the hill. So it is looking very good for Lidl-Trek. Sorry, they're not over the hill on my screen. They're over the hill on PCS. I might just turn this PCS thing off because they're ahead by about 30 seconds to a minute. Who was the team? Uno X finished 10th, 58 seconds down. There was another team though. Cofidis had a good time trial there, finishing in 6th, 30 seconds down. But who remains? Wana Yusu, Vasek, Söderqvist are all remaining for Lidl-Trek. There's 2 other riders, 42 and 43. Who is that? Bernard and Kamna also remain. So that means Tom Scoins and Soren Kragh Andersen. Yeah. Kamna and Soren Kragh Andersen. Poggy going for a 5th Tour de France and 3rd Worlds. No room for the Vuelta. Yeah, well, there you go. If he goes for the Worlds again, is the Worlds not meant to be... Where's the Worlds this year? Is it not meant to be a flat? Or is that another... I'm not really thinking about the Worlds at the moment. But is it in Canada? So what year is it they go to UAE with the fake hill being built in it? Down to 3 now for Lidl, as they are quite comfortable. Söderqvist, Vasek and Wana Yusu remain. They're showing Tudor passing Tudor about to finish 45-ish seconds, going up to 50. 2026 Montreal, Canada. That'll be pretty good. What about 2027? Yeah, the little time. Yeah, they're first in the intermediate for the. They haven't finished yet, so they haven't. But they're first on the intermediate by 1 second on Decathlon. And they've still got 3 riders left. Söderqvist, Vasek and Wana Yusu. What is the 22 votes and 64% have said Visma. Visma are 3rd, or 2nd, sorry. Soon to be 3rd of Lidl-Trek. 18% say Lidl, 18% say other. So, intermediate time check, Lidl were first. Decathlon were second, 1 second down. Lidl are on the final flat up to the finish here. I think last time they were shown on screen, they had 3 riders remaining. Red Bull are on the screen. Lidl are back on the screen. Still the same 3 riders. Swedish champion, Czech Republic champion, and Wan Ayuso. Where are Red Bull? Red Bull have just hit over the top of that wee hill at the end on your screen. So that is where they are sitting as Söderqvist drops off and Lidl are down to 2. Vasek and Wan Ayuso. Decathlon still in first, but I think they're into the final kilometre. Where's the final kilometre banner? Right, so they're coming up to the 1 kilometre banner now. They've just hit it. They're 25.49 at the moment, and Decathlon finished on 26.51. So we could potentially see a Lidl-Trek. They've still another, what looks like a hill here at the end, or a wee lip or something. But they've two, Vasek and Wana Yusu. Obviously Vasek will move off to the side and Wana Yusu will hopefully sprint for this, but 43 seconds. It's going to come down to the wire maybe. So Decathlon finished on 26.51. Vasek moves to the side. Wana Yusu is left as he sticks the foot down and he's going for it. They're at 26.25 now, but it looks like they're going to get it. 20 seconds. Wana Yusu still 15 seconds now. They're going to get it. Fair play, Lidl. Fair play to Lidl. 8 seconds on Decathlon. 13 seconds on Visma. What happened with Visma? What did they do wrong? What a time trial by Lidl. What a time trial. Wana Yusu at the end there just... Vasek moves to the side and Wana Yusu just sticks the foot down and just doesn't stop. Red Bull are coming down the hill here at the moment. Ineos are just about to hit the... Holy sh... Ineos are... What is going on? Ineos are 12 seconds ahead of Lidl on the time check. Here. What? Ineos have 6 riders though. They've only 6 riders. Lidl crossed that with... Pardon me. Lidl crossed that with 7. So Ineos may be down quite a lot of riders here towards the finish, but they've still got the wee hill to climb at the end. This is getting very good. I've said before I'm not the biggest fan of time trials or team time trials, but this one is shaping up to be very, very good, and it has been very good actually. So 17 teams have finished. Every other team, there's no other teams left to start. Red Bull are close to finishing here now. And then there's Astana, Ineos, NSN and EF Education. They're the remaining teams out on the track. Red Bull down to 4 riders now. One of which is Piffy, I think. They've still got Martinez as well, or Martinez. But they've got 4 riders as they're coming into the final couple kilometres. Ineos still strong with their 6 riders. So Ineos were 12 seconds ahead of Lidl-Trek, 14 seconds ahead of Decathlon, and 21 ahead of Visma. This is very, very good. As the top 5 sits at the finish line, Lidl-Trek in first, Decathlon 8 seconds down. Oh, getting a phone call. Decathlon are 8 seconds down. Visma are 13 seconds down. Movistar 25 and Visma or UAE in 5th at 34 seconds down. Ineos lose another rider. They're down to 5. Should actually put the stage favourites up as I get rid of all of it. That's the Tirreno stage favourites. There we go. So Lidl-Trek, they were second favourite. They're currently in first. It says Red Bull have finished. I'm not going to look at their time. I'm going to wait for it to pop up on the TV. So here we go. Red Bull, they have 4 riders left, but I don't think they're going to get it. They're 5 seconds to go before they move into second. Vlasov and Martinez still there. They're into the pluses now, so they aren't in first. Will they get second? No, they won't get second. They're sat in third. Will they get fourth? No. Sorry, they won't get third. They're sitting fourth. They're sat in fourth now, so Red Bull sat in fourth. Visma, Lisa Bike, Decathlon and Lidl, the only teams ahead of them. Now it is just waiting on Ineos to see how they finish. They're about halfway up the hill with 5 riders remaining. NSN are coming up to the time. I don't think NSN really matters. I think after Ineos it is over. NSN are sat in NSN were they? No, sorry, I was reading the wrong thing. NSN are in 14th for that time check, 51 seconds down. So that is Josh Tarling moving off the front of Ineos. I don't know if he's going to drop now or he's going to try and latch onto the back, but if not, they're down to 4 riders as they just hit the top of the hill-ish. Luke Lamperti of EF Education in the yellow jersey. They've still all their riders left, but I don't see them fighting for this GC here, to be honest. Astana are just finished the descent of that wee hill. They're going onto the flat bit now towards the finish. Where were they sitting at the intermediate check? I don't think they were 12th, 48 seconds down. Don't know how many riders they've got left, but it doesn't look like they're going to be anywhere. It was all down to Ineos. And what happens with Ineos here? I think Ineos, 24 votes. Ineos finally got their first vote. They're on 4% to win it. Lidl are on 17. Visma obviously 58, but there are a couple more votes in there. So Ineos are up to 8% now. Visma 58%, but they're not winning it now. They're sat in third. So Lidl are 19th, or Lidl are 19%, and other is 15%. But it looks like it's going to be between both Lidl and Ineos here. So as it stands, Lidl-Trek are in first, Decathlon in second, 8 seconds down with a brilliant time trial from Dan Hula. Ineos are down to, 3 riders, so Ineos are down to 3 riders now. Visma in third with 13 seconds. That was a shock to see Decathlon beat them, to be honest. Red Bull just finished there recently. They're 18 seconds down in fourth, and Movistar in fifth. If you have been in the stream for however long I've been live, I think an hour and 40, subscribe, like, I do appreciate it. I'll be live tomorrow for the Pyrenees and the Tirreno, live from Milan San Remo next week. Stan is going under the 1 kilometer banner here, 12 seconds down already. But yes, I'm going to be live for every World Tour race off the season. Was watching the Tirreno there earlier with a brilliant result for Mathieu van der Poel. Del Toro and Pellizzari, all 3 sprinting to the line. It was great to see. But Van der Poel comes out on top on that one. Jorgensen was in the group with them. He slipped on the gravel and crashed, unfortunately. But I think Wout van Aert, he put in a good turn and dragged the chasing group back to about within 20 seconds. So not a big chunk of time, but for a 1 week stage race, it is and the likes of Del Toro leading it. 20 seconds is quite a lot. Astana are finishing here now 1 minute and 5 seconds. That's obviously keeps ticking up but looks like they're going to be 1 minute and 10 plus. Yep, 1 minute and 13. Ineos are at the bottom of the hill now, the final hill on your screen, so they will soon... 3 riders left. They'll soon be onto the flat part to the finish. I think it's maybe 2 or 3 kilometers. How long is the... It's 23.5 kilometers, so it's about 2 kilometers to Ineos finish it up here. NSN and AF Education are the last 2 teams on, but I don't see them doing much. AF Education actually in 4th on the time check, and they've still got 6 riders. So AF Education are sat in 4th. They beat Visma on the time check. They beat Red Bull and UAE. The only ones above them are Decathlon and Lidl-Trek. Decathlon's above them by 1 second. Lidl-Trek above them by 3. Ineos obviously won the intermediate time check there. So Ineos could be winning this year. They were ahead. Yeah, Ineos were ahead by Lidl so Lidl beat Decathlon in the time check by 2 seconds. Ineos then beat Lidl by 12 seconds. The likes of Sam Watson, Josh Tarling, Kwiatkowski putting in good shifts. As there's 3 remaining. I'm sure the commentators have mentioned who it is, but I just can't. I'm trying to think who it could possibly be. Obviously, Oscar Olney, Kevin Vackel, and Carlos Rodriguez are the GC riders for this. So, could we see the 3 of them in it? I can't tell who it is, to be honest with you. But the 3 of them are now under the one. No, they're just about to hit the 1 kilometer banner with 1 minute to go. So it looks like UAE are going to take this. Just hit the 1 kilometer banner with 59 seconds on Lidl-Trek, who are in 1st place. This is a very dominant time trial here. Who is it? I can't see the numbers on their back. So Onley is in 3rd. He's losing the wheel. Vauquelin's in 2nd, trying to catch back up to 1st. Who is the 1st rider, though? It's not Watson. Is it Tarling? I don't know. Can't tell who it is, but Ineos, as Kev Vauquelin goes round, and he's going for the finish here. 19 seconds, 17, time's ticking down, but it looks like they are going to get it. 10 seconds now. 5, 4, 3 seconds. Kevin Vauquelin gets it, and Ineos lead it. It looks like Ineos are going to win it. 2 minutes and 47 seconds down. They beat Lidl-Trek by 2 minutes. Why am I saying 2 minutes? 2 seconds. 2 seconds. What a time trial by Ineos. Very, very, it was great. It's down to AF Education and NSN. But I don't think either of them are going to, well, NSN aren't going to challenge. Lamperti out the back. It's obviously his last day in yellow. Luke Lamperti drops. I think it is pretty nailed on that Ineos have won it. So I might end the stream there, because there's no point. No, the last 2 teams aren't going to do anything, so I will end it here. Thanks for watching the final K. I'll be live tomorrow for the Tirreno and the Paris-Nice. Subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it. If you stayed for 1 hour 48, fair play to you. I appreciate that a lot. But yes, be live again tomorrow for both stages. And yeah, thanks for watching the final K, and all the best.